Hi, my name is Jennifer Fox with Music Educator Resources, and I'm glad you could join me for Music Teacher Tip number 30. So today we are talking about how to create a YouTube premiere on your channel. And this was a request from a teacher who is wanting to do this for her recital. I recently had shared that that's what I did for my online recital, and I thought I would do a little video tutorial on how to go about that if you've never done that before and not familiar with YouTube very much. So it's actually pretty easy, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so I have my YouTube account already open and everything, and I thought I would go ahead and just do a live setup from the very beginning. So I'm logged on into my account and I clicked the upload button. So now I'm going to go ahead and drag that file in so it can upload my video. Now this is just a video I was planning on sharing anyway. Just a little fun video I made. So Practice Makes Progress is the title. And in the description, if you're doing this for a recital, you can, put whatever you want in the description, instructions for your families that you want them to know, or you can just write down your studio website or anything like that. I'm actually going to just write down for now my copyright. Okay, now that it's processed, it's going to show you a little bit more. So when you scroll down, you're going to see, this is from the after I downloaded it page on the details. So when you scroll down from the details, you'll see a thumbnail. You can create your own thumbnail and upload it if you'd like. I do that quite often, and for this one, I'll probably just maybe choose this one as my thumbnail. So it'll take whatever screenshots, and you can choose from the screenshots if you want. Otherwise, just upload your own. And then if you want, you can create a playlist. However, if this is for online recital, your audience is going to be made for kids. And I'll talk a little about that later on in this video, but for now, you would put, yes, it's made for kids, because there are kids in it, and that is part of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. So you'll click this button. Now, if you click that button, chances are you're not going to be able to do a playlist, which is a huge bummer, but that's just part of it. And let me just go on. So we'll go to next, and here we go. So then I can add an end screen if I want. I'll just show you what that means. So if I have other videos in my channel, I can choose what I want it to show at the end. So if I wanted to show, let's say this, I could show a video, just, a video that's on my channel that would be good for a viewer to see. And I have my little subscribe button right there. And if I want, I can add outline there too, but I'm not going to. And I don't want it to show up until actually the very, very end. So we'll just put it like right there when the music stops. So I'll just save that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do an end screen, and you don't have to do anything else beyond that. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And then here is where you can set it as a premiere. So when you're saving it or doing private, unlisted, or public, premieres can only be public. You could go in after it premieres and change it to unlisted, but when it premieres, it has to be set to public. So I'm going to set it to public, and then I'm going to set it as an instant premiere. Now, I can schedule this premiere, so I go down here to schedule it, and it will give me some options. So then I could choose my date and the time that I want it to schedule. And then I click set as a premiere as well. I don't have to schedule it, but if you're doing it for an online recital, I would recommend scheduling it. Just be aware, as far as the scheduling goes, when, say like you scheduled it at, let's say scheduled at 3 p.m. And what's going to happen is at 3 p.m., that is when the countdown is going to start. So there's a 1-minute countdown that begins at 3. just to give you a heads up on that. So I actually want to change, I'm going to go back because this one I'm not going to schedule, this particular one. So I'm going to just change it. And I'll just set it as instant premiere. That might be fun anyway. All right, so it says, before you publish, check the following. Do kids appear in the video? Make sure you follow our policies to protect minors from harm, exploitation, bullying, and violations of the labor law. So this goes along with a made for kids. If kids appear in the video, you need to click made for kids. This is important because if you don't and YouTube catches you, they will delete your video, and they will also flag your account. So if you continue to go against their policies, they could even delete your account. So be careful of that. It's a risk that you make if you don't put it as made for kids, if you do have kids that appear in the video. So after that, you are ready to publish. So if you do have it scheduled, once you click publish, you will see on my blog, I blogged a little bit more about that, but you'll see a little, if somebody goes to that link, they will see, premiering in whatever hours or whatever day. So they'll see a little message of when it appears. All right, I will also, a little tip is to make sure you copy this video link so you can share it with your parents. You can share it as soon as you have it scheduled for your premiere. You could share the link anytime. They won't see the actual video. They'll just see that it's coming. So they'll get a little message of coming on whatever date, or if they go and check the link a couple hours before, they'll say in 2 hours, that kind of thing. And then, like I said before, 1 minute beforehand, they'll get a fun little 1 minute countdown. Okay, so I think we're all set for this particular video to premiere. I'm doing this just as a instant premiere, not scheduling. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that. And that will go onto my YouTube channel. And again, it gives you another chance to grab that link if you forgot to do that. And then you can, of course, if you want to share right away, you can. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. So now my video is ready to go. Okay, so I'll stop share. So one thing I wanted to mention, there seems to be a little bit of confusion on the Made for Kids. A lot of people are wanting to take that literally as if the video is made for kids, meaning if I am doing a fun little video that I want kids to watch, but it has actually two meanings, and YouTube does specify this, that if kids are inside the video, then it's also made for kids. So an online recital would be covered under that. Also, there's a channel that I still follow, that would interview kids with disabilities. So basically, it was made for adults and for people to learn about these different disabilities that kids had. And unfortunately, when this came out, actually it was prior to the official Made for Kids setting, the YouTube flagged their account, and because it had kids in it, even though it wasn't necessarily made for kids, they disabled all the comments on that page. And this was a YouTube channel that had tons and tons of followers, and because they had these kids in it, and they were interviewing these kids and kind of getting to know their disability a little bit more, so we could be more understanding of those disabilities. Because of that, they wanted to make sure, YouTube and the FCC and everything wants to make sure that the kids are protected from comments that are mean, basically, is what it comes down to. Comments that could hurt kids. And so they took the ability away from being able to make comments on this particular page. And they were really upset about it because even though there might be rude people that make horrible comments, there's also some really good people who make wonderful comments and encouraging comments, and they had a lot of that. And so it was really disheartening for them for their comments to be taken away, because it was the parents that of the child that had the disability, when they would read all these wonderful and encouraging comments, it touched their heart so much. And so this particular channel, when this happened to them, it was an absolute heartbreak. They were really upset about it. But in the end, they realized YouTube, they don't own YouTube. It's a platform, and YouTube decided this is what it was going to have to be. Well, it was shortly after all this, I noticed that the FCC got involved in YouTube, and YouTube was forced to create this Made for Kids option. And I can't help but think that some of this was related, because it was quite it was quite the story at the time. And it was disheartening having to take that ability away. I would love to be able to have comments being for my online recital straight up on YouTube. But because I knew the background of this Made for Kids and why it was created in the first place, I knew that's not something I wanted to risk as far as my online recital. And that is why, as I had explained in my adapting video on how to adapt your recital and what I did, I explained how I used Facebook as that comment platform. And you could use Zoom as your comment platform. There's other ideas that you can do. I ended up wanting to use Facebook, and you could read more about that if you haven't seen that post. So I will actually link in this description of that post, so you can go to it if you have missed it. But anyway, I just wanted to share a little background of why YouTube probably made, well, for one thing, they were kind of forced into it from the FCC. They didn't have a whole lot of choice. They had to stay with the, COPPA, I don't know if that's how you say it, COPPA rules, which protect children. So all of this, it has to do with just protecting children. That's what it all ends up, in the end, that's what it's all about. So I know you can understand that. All right, well, I hope this video was helpful in setting up your YouTube Premiere, and good luck with however you use it. All right, happy teaching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.